Beady, different gear, still speeding.
Without really knowing what I was getting into, I promised some people I would review this album. So now I'm going to do that. If you guys have done any research on this band, I'm absolutely positively sure that you already know that this group is basically Oasis without Noel Gallagher. Kind of Oasis 2.0. But that would be kind of implying that there's like an improvement there. It's kind of like Oasis version 0.5, since now it has less than it previously had. But to keep things short and simple, this is what I would call a stay-at-home album. A stay-at-home album. Meaning that it's so bland and predictable in its style, in its delivery, that there's no possible way it would ever appeal outside of the current Oasis and Liam/Noel Gallagher fan base. But it seems that the low expectations that people usually have for side projects like this were exceeded ever so slightly this time around. But so what? I don't care about music that sounds good in comparison to some of a band's discography. I care about music that sounds good when you compare it to the world of music. Simply comparing this to Oasis's past work, and only that, is small potatoes that I'm not interested in. Which is why this is a stay-at-home album. It's good, just as long as you don't leave the house and compare it to anything else. If you're an Oasis fan, this isn't bad. It's a clean, produced approach to psychedelic and garage rock, basically this Brit-pop revival stuff that has brought Liam to this point. Why would he just kind of cut and run just because he started a side project? And honestly, I'm sure this is the kind of music he likes. Some of the riffs and guitar work here are pretty good. Four-letter word, Beatles and Stones, Standing on the Edge of the Noise. There's a nice boogie-woogie piano on Bring the Light that I liked a lot, and there's a very effervescent, yes, effervescent crescendo on the Morning Sun that I felt like, had some merit to it. But the whole thing comes off like a boringly written Brit rock reader that just kind of makes this general assessment of mainstream rock coming out of the UK that blossomed during the 60s and 70s. It's just safe revivalism. It's a post-Oasis project beating a dead horse. I'm feeling like a decent to strong 3 on this thing. It's certainly listenable, but nothing that really got a rise out of me. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. And you know what? I could be wrong. I could be. So I'm just going to give up any and all music for the next 30 years. I'm only going to listen to this album and just, let it grow on me. Grow. And see what the result is. Wow. 30 years later, and a regular exercise regimen and healthy diet have kept me looking relatively the same. I am bald, though. And I've grown some stubble. And I gotta say, 30 years ago, my opinion, completely wrong. Beady, the contribution they made to rock music on this album is greater than any other band has ever made. In fact, this thing makes every album on the face of the planet look like utter crap. I would never ever want to listen to another thing again. Do you hear that?
Oh boy, I love this music. This is great music. You see this music over here? This is great. It's the best music I've ever heard in my life. Oh my gosh, look at all this great music.
Forever.